What's going on, you guys? Symbotic up almost 3% today with the market up. Good day. Helps take your mind off the fact that the stock is down 15% in the last month. It's down 62% year to date, facing some issues. We'll get into all that. I just recorded this whole video and only to realize that I never pressed record. So here we are again. Second time around, it should be even better. So let's take a look. So, Symbotic, is it time to buy the dip? Symbotic was my best investment of 2023, and it's gone on to be my worst investment of 2024. It's been quite a roller coaster to say the least, but it's a warehouse automation company. They've received a few huge tailwinds from the rise in popularity of these AI stocks, although that might be changing now. Seems like sentiment's shifting a little bit, at least away from the more speculative ones, which I would classify this as. Obviously Nvidia is still doing great. The hyperscalers, Microsoft, Amazon, they're all doing great and will continue to long term, I'm sure. But Symbotic has faced some issues. And it's funny because if you had asked me 6 months ago, would you buy Symbotic sub $20 a share? It wouldn't have even been a question. I would absolutely have loved to get it below 20. And now here we are, it's below 20. And I'm definitely a little bit more hesitant just because there are a lot of question marks surrounding this company. So Symbotic, kind of similar to Celsius, which I had done a write up in my last article over on Substack on. These are two companies I've invested in and facing some similar issues, just, an overall slowdown in their growth rates. But when it comes to Symbotic, they guided for $455 to $475 million of revenue for the upcoming fourth quarter, which would imply revenue growth of only 16 to 21% year over year. And you can just kind of see here that the revenue has been trending down, the growth rate, by quite a bit. I mean, if we just went back to the beginning of 2023, this company was posting triple digit percentage growth, 167%, 177%. Then the second half of 2023, it started to drop off, only 77% growth, 60% growth. And, then it went back up to 78%, but definitely trending down. Q2 24, 59%, 57% Q3. And now if Q4, if their guidance is accurate, they're only going to post 16 to 21% growth, which is a massive drop off. And I think that was the main reason why the stock sold off so hard recently. But, it's hard. It's impossible to sustain these levels of growth every single quarter and every single year. I mean, it's very hard to show growth after you're growing 100% or even, 50%. It's just not sustainable forever. And I think you've seen this happen with a lot of other popular companies in the last few years. It's easy to forget that not too long ago, our market leader, Nvidia, they were in this position where the growth wasn't there and the stock was down quite a bit. You go back 2022, a couple of years ago, same thing with Palantir. I mean, you get these tough comps. It's very hard to just keep growing 50%. But, in the case of like Nvidia and Palantir, got the chance to kind of reset those expectations. And then eventually now you have an easy comp when you look at the previous year. And I feel like that could be what's happening with Symbotic here, where the growth rate goes down so much. And then all of a sudden, maybe in 2025, they can start showing big growth again, a reacceleration. And that would kind of line up with some of what management has been saying, which I'll touch on in a second. But for right now, definitely seeing a significant slowdown in the revenue growth that's already been languishing and trending down every quarter. So there's definitely other issues too. I've discussed in many videos just how the company continues to heavily dilute shareholders. Not great to see that they're issuing more shares every quarter. Simultaneously, insiders have been selling. There's so much insider selling, just never very reassuring to just see all insider selling. If the management doesn't want to own the company, why should I? And then you haven't seen any new concrete deals arise from this whole Greenbox joint venture. So there's definitely a lot of question marks there. I guess onto some of the good stuff is that CEO Rick Cohen has stated in the past that 2024 was going to be the company's slowest sales year. and that growth would pick back up in 2025. So again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about having these tough comps, but it may not last forever. I mean, things can change. You saw that with like Palantir and Nvidia. So that's definitely something I'm keeping my eyes on to see if they kind of reiterate that kind of language in the Q4 call. Definitely think that's worth keeping an eye on. That's what I'll be probably most paying attention to. Now, their gross margin has also fallen, which they blamed on these elongated construction cycles. The company had outsourced a lot of the construction to third parties, but it seems that they're interested in bringing it back in house due to the inefficiencies they've experienced with that, which I think that would definitely help, get the margins back up, which would be great to see. I do think that that will not happen overnight. That might take a few quarters to really see the benefits there, because that's what tends to happen when you go in house and vertically integrate. You're not going to see that. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to show up immediately in the balance sheet, but over time, it always seems like the better way to go with most of these companies. So if we look at the technicals, we're looking very weak here ever since this huge drop off back in August. The stock fell below all its key moving averages. And that's usually a sign of weakness that takes time to recover from. So again, even though the stock is sub 20 here, I could see this kind of hanging out here, maybe even going lower. It could be weak for some time here. It could be dead money. I would like to see it reclaim some of these averages, which again, most of the time, it tends to take some time for that to pan out. So for those reasons, I'm not buying any shares yet here, but what I did do was I sold a $15 put. So a 15 strike expiring next Friday. And I got $33 in premium from that. So a little over a 2% return for 10 days, which not bad. And the stock would have to drop 20% more, between now and then, 10 days or so, which I like those odds. And, if it did get to 15, I mean, yeah, I would definitely be fine buying there. Because I do think that, again, these companies, just everything's cyclical. The more I realize, like, just with the markets, it's cyclical. You can't grow forever. You can't put up these kind of growth rates every quarter or every year, but you can have a reset year where now they could have an easier comp. When we look at 2025, where they could get back to showing good growth, or it might even take a year, but it could consolidate here, and I'll definitely be looking for some confirmation when it comes to just outright buying shares again, because I do think there's some issues. There's definitely some question marks. So I want to see some improvement in those areas before I really start buying again here. So would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I do think Symbotic still has a lot of potential long term as this really end-to-end warehouse automation player. It does seem like there's a lot of other companies involved in this space, but I haven't really come across many that do the end-to-end automation like Symbotic's able to. It seems like there's a lot of players that are able to solve for a part of the process, just kind of point solutions, but it really doesn't seem, Symbotic definitely seems to be at the forefront when it comes to the innovation and really all the things they're able to do and just handle these boxes as they come in one door and all the way to out the other, from inbound to fulfillment. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of others who are able to really handle all that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And I'll also put my Substack in the pinned comment there. Definitely check that out. I post all my articles on there for free. And, I'm always posting articles, and I might not always post a video, but I post on Substack first usually. So check that out if you're interested. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is Vinny from the Investment Club. I'll see you guys next time.